come 2020, I'm watching riots in the street, okay? And it's finally clicking, like, burning down businesses isn't helping anyone. How are we helping people? Hi, WalkAway friends. My name's Annabella Rockwell, and I walked away from the Democratic Party in 2020, but not until after working on not one, but two political campaigns for them. So in 2016, I worked for Hillary Clinton, and in 2018, I worked on the Andrew Gillum campaign with some internships sprinkled in between there for my Democratic House representative, because of course. So I had gone to a very liberal women's college, and I left really adamant and, identifying with women's rights and leftism and feminism. That was kind of my whole thing, right? I was like, we need female representation in the House, the Senate, and the White House. To me, that's all that mattered. Or it didn't even matter necessarily what they were saying. It was just this idea of representation. So fast forward 2020. So 2018, I had made a lifestyle change. I got sober. I stopped drinking. And the reason I say that is because I had a clear mind. It's very important. I was able to think clearly, and in that clear mind, I stopped being so obsessed with social justice, because I'd really been groomed into becoming a social justice warrior to go into the workforce and change things from the inside out. That's what we're seeing across this country. All these kids coming out of these elite schools, they are determined to just break down the system from the inside out. So that, I was one of those people, hence the liberal politics. But by 2020, kind of 2 years of just sort of starting to think a little bit for myself, I still was like, oh, I think that the Democrats, I still believe they're better people. Come 2020, I'm watching riots in the street, okay? And it's finally clicking, like, burning down businesses isn't helping anyone. How are we helping people? Now, that same summer, I had the juxtaposition of seeing the Republican National Convention and the Democratic National Convention. And I remember watching the DNC, and everyone that got up there was like, oh, well, I'm a woman, or I'm black, or I'm a minority, and I'm a first generation American, and they started with their identity and then went into whatever it was they wanted to say. Whereas on the flip, the Republicans, a lot of them looked different, but they just got up there and they were like, yeah, okay, so this is what I stand for, Second Amendment, free speech, let's protect our border, let's lower taxes, like, let's build up Americans and our capitalist system. And I remember thinking, wow, I have been so brainwashed into thinking I'm a woman, so I have to vote Democrat, right? And on the flip, if you really think about it, isn't that kind of misogynistic? For me as a woman to be told, because you're a woman, you have to think a certain way. Here, come under this umbrella. We're all the others. We're all second-class citizens. We have a common enemy, and that's like the white American man, Republican. So it just clicked. I remember also I watched a PragerU video came across my news feed, and that was about police brutality, and that sort of helped things click into place where I was able to be like, wow, not only am I being totally lied to, but these policies that Democrats are saying help people, they actually really don't. They're hurting people, and they're keeping Americans subjugated. I said I was sober, things like, giving people needles and easier access to drugs in liberal cities, it's not helping, it's hurting. Let's get these people help. Harsher gun laws, we're seeing what that does in cities like Chicago and New York. It's not helping. So we know that Democratic policies don't work. Perhaps in theory, perhaps on paper, they seem like they are more kind, but they're actually not rooted in reality and truth. So I walked away. Thank gosh for 2020 and for being able to see things clearly. And I am so moved by how many other people are just saying, this isn't for me anymore. I'm going to think freely, and I'm going to think for myself, and I'm not just going to toe the line of the Democratic Party. And I'm going to walk away and make up my own mind.
For more great videos, download the WalkAway Social app at walkawaysocial.com. Share your testimonial and join our community.